What up, what up? Welcome back to the channel. This is Wealth Frequency with Justin Jack Bear, talking about Internet Computer Protocol. Why? Because innovation always wins. So these are the reasons why Internet Computer Protocol is replacing AWS, Google, Cloudflare. How Coinbase is following ICP's technology because it sets the regulation and rails for a decentralized cloud system that works on consensus, that's tamper-proof, that can host smart contracts inside canisters that are encrypted, where people with Bitcoin should be moving their coins over to Internet Computer Protocol because it's cheaper, faster, and bulletproof. And we all know that Bitcoin is an ideology that the world bought into after 15 years of being in the market and in operation. And then Ethereum came along and said, oh, look, we could build instructions in smart contracts that are open source, that basically tells computers in digital finance what to do. But it cost developers gas fees that became expensive over time because the logic and infrastructure of Ethereum really could not innovate into a full stack singular protocol in order to keep costs, increase speed, and reliability, or to create a tamper-proof environment. Now that's so critically important to understand, that Ethereum is a 10-year-old technology, and the way technology evolves now at the pace that it moves, Ethereum technology is incomplete and will be obsolete. So go back to when Definity started developing Internet Computer Protocol, developing canisters, full stack, front end, back end, apps, games, websites, databases, finance, everything you can imagine and dream how the internet could works on Internet Computer Protocol. It is the blockchain. It doesn't build on the blockchain. ICP is the blockchain. And then you see that governments, regulations, or governments and countries and regulators are worried about the future of general artificial intelligence and AI, supercomputers, etc., etc. So there's going to be a panic in the market where the crypto market is going to collapse in itself because the people pumping the value into these coins and technology and blockchains are basically in a closed circular buyback economy where they can pump the coins, remove the coins off the market, fake pumps, fake dumps, buy back low, sell high, and it's a never-ending cycle. So there's pure market manipulation going on, just like the stock market, that's basically out of the control of the end user, consumer, individual, or any entity that wants to buy into digital assets or digital tokenization or digital currency. So if you think about those things where that whole industry has failed. Here comes along Internet Computer Protocol, developed by Definity Foundation, setting the rules and regulations for crypto, based out of Zurich, Switzerland. And then the European regulations will follow the leader in the space and the industry for cryptography, safety and security of digital assets and financial global finances. And there's nobody else better positioned in the world than Coinbase, who are actively working with regulators in the US to keep in compliance with what the new laws and regulations need to be or are expected to be based on the policymakers in the United States for US citizens. But the European governments and Definity Foundation have already set these rules and regulations and have set up the technology in such a way that it has become the standard for the industry. And it's nothing new. It's no secret. And we're seeing that the big companies that want to play big and expand big, like Coinbase, who wants to open banks and be the world crypto bank, they're going to play it safe with safety and security at the forefront. Speed of compute is no longer a selling point, because we all know computers are fast, but there's too many middlemen, too many custodians, too many technical backdoors and loops, and centralized cloud and computing is restricting the real Internet 2.0 vision that the world needs and wants, especially when it comes to general AI. So Coinbase is going to follow what Internet Computer Protocol has already developed and is 4 years old, going into its fifth year of business maturity. And after 5 years, then we're going to see explosive growth. That Definity has built Internet Computer Protocol with the specs of the future in mind. They were not building to make money in the last 10 years of smart contract hype or Bitcoin storage of value sentiment and ideology, but they've been building so that the future of technology, which has been mapped out 20 years in advance, everything you see today that exists was developed and engineered 20 years before its time. And this is how DARPA works. I don't know if you guys know about DARPA, but every technology in the world has been around for 20 years in advance, plus 20 years in the making. And the evolution of technology is just speeding up that advancement, that the next 20 years have already been mapped out. And Definity has laid a roadmap out that you can go and see on internetcomputer.org or definity.org website. So these guys have a 20-year roadmap. They've already built the protocol for the Internet 2.0. That's 20 years in advance. It already exists. It's being used. It's in operation. It's scaling. It's interoperable. Works with all crypto. Internet Computer Protocol is the crypto cloud. All crypto and tokenized assets and real-world assets that go digital can be hosted and will be hosted and are already being hosted on Internet Computer Protocol, because it's going to meet and is setting the standards for global compliance on internet laws, AI regulations, and also for supercomputer and quantum resistance or acceleration into safety and security using cryptography and encrypted data. But not only that, they just hit so many categories, and data sovereignty and decentralized cloud compute is exactly what this was built for, which is important to the consumer, not only governments and corporations. And then the NVIDIA president and CEO comes out and talks about the next GPU that runs inference, AI inference on the GPU with memory, that these are already designed, developed, and are going to scale decentralized nodes around the world already. So Coinbase is going to leverage NVIDIA's technology. ICP is going to leverage NVIDIA's technology. And we're going to go from 10,000 nodes worldwide to 100,000 nodes worldwide, eventually to 1 million nodes worldwide of decentralized cloud compute on NVIDIA GPUs. And that's when the explosive growth of Internet Computer Protocol is going to happen. So you want to be already in the market. You want to be already set up for those explosive growths, for these companies to scale this globally. So one of my strategies, after bagging some big bags of ICP and staking it for 8 years indefinitely so that I earn governance reward tokens, maturity, one a day, every day at the end of the year, 365 times 100, 365 times 1,000 price, we're going to be in good shape here. So it's all what you can afford to do. You know, another strategy I have is I don't keep money in the bank anymore. I just put it into a Neuron, or buy a liquid bag, $5 a day, every day for the next 5 years. The exponential growth of technology, of Coinbase, of NVIDIA, integrating and taking over the market worldwide over the next 5 years is going to happen. It's going to happen in 3 years. And I bet you we'll hit 1 million nodes easily within 3 years. So this is the reality, guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, people and humans, that there is a demand for data sovereignty and decentralized cloud, and the biggest players in the world are setting up for it. And Internet Computer Protocol is the only internet technology that can be plugged into this, scale exponentially, and allow every other infrastructure or asset to integrate into it seamlessly, near instant finality, decentralized. So that's what we're talking about. And very exciting times to be around. When you get to a company growth and maturity of 5 years, 4 years for Definity right now, and they're happy and satisfied with the progress they've made, even though now they're just in the fine tweaking of the technology, they have a 20-year roadmap that already proves that they're good to go. And then you see execs and top engineers who work for a nonprofit foundation where a technology like ICP is comfortable with how it's running now, and all it needs to do is scale. Part of that process is build it, get developers, scale it, let your top execs, let your top engineers go into the market, non-compete clause, no non-compete clause, and no conflict of interest, and allow them to go and integrate and teach the big companies, the big corporations, the big finance, the insurance, go and show them how to integrate. And these companies should be hiring ICP developers. And that's another big issue, is that all the jobs posted online for doctorates and PhDs, masters in computer science, engineering with the old infrastructure, they're so heavily integrated, so heavily weighed down into the existing infrastructure of the last 25 years that they're not going to hire Internet Computer Protocol developers at the speed and rate that they should. And all of these jobs are still going to be available only for existing developers who know how to use all the different languages and software that already exist. So the companies, the organizations, big and small, who take a risk on adopting developers for Internet Computer Protocol, who understand the safety and security and speed that the canisters work with smart contracts, and that these integrations will be a money saver hundreds of millions and billions of dollars are going to be saved. And these governments and countries and corporations don't really know that yet, but they're open, they're looking, they're curious, they're not sure. We're slowly creeping into their space. We're slowly making a buzz about the information, and information on how to apply, not whether it works, is the first barrier of entry. And people like me and you and everybody in the community and all the subs and all the likes and comments and posts, all the conversations, all the work that the ICP influencers are doing around the conversation. We're gonna start tapping into the Bitcoin market more, because that's $1 trillion market that needs to move on to the Internet Computer Protocol and leveraging the chain key Bitcoin technology. So that's a way to tap into the global capital markets. So stay positive, keep working, keep building, keep advocating, keep researching. Download that 20-year roadmap from Definity. That's the proof. We're on it. That's my video. Till the next one. Thanks for the subs. Stay groovy.